Today, we'll be creating a mosaic mask. I start with the basic head shape. Then I have to try to find a nose that fits well. I could use something like this, or like this. There are a few other nose shapes I could try. Perhaps I like this one, or maybe he has a really big nose. I think for mine, I'm going to keep this one. Then I also have to get 2 circles for the eyes, like this. And I'm also going to choose a mouth. So I might choose a mouth that looks like this, or possibly one that looks like this. I think my mouth will be a little bit smaller on this guy. Once I have my mask figured out, we're going to create a mosaic on each part. So we're going to use little pieces of paper called tesserae, and we're going to glue them down there. So what I'll do first is I'll pick the piece I want to start with, like this eye, and I'm going to coat it in glue. Really going to coat it well. Then I have these little pieces that I'm going to use. Now they're really hard to pick up. So a little trick I like to use is using water and a little Q-tip. A wet Q-tip will pick up the pieces really well. And then I can just stick it on. I'm going to use some triangle pieces and some rectangle pieces, and I might even use some different colored purples. You might see a little bit of a wet spot, and that's okay. That'll dry later, and it'll be a different color. Maybe this last one will be a light one again. So I have that one done. When I'm finished with this piece, then I'll go ahead and do another piece. If I had my other eye, I would do exactly the same color again. Maybe this one will have a dark, oh, I forgot to coat it in glue. Maybe this one will start with a dark purple on the inside. And maybe this one has some light ones around the edges. I don't want them to go too far off. And if you notice, they're not really touching. So I'm going to do my best to keep it that way. But if some of yours overlap, it's okay. There we go. Maybe a really small one for the other corner. There we go. And once I finish with his eyes, I might move on to a different shape. Perhaps his nose. For this one, I'm going to switch colors. I think for his nose, I'm going to use maybe my blue colors. So again, I coat this with my glue. Make sure I coat it well. And then I'm going to use my wet Q-tip to pick up pieces and put them on my nose. And I might use some different color blues too. Sometimes I might be able to fit small square pieces in the corner, and other times I might need to use little triangles to fill a space. So maybe I'll use this triangle right here. All right. So for every single piece that I have, I could go ahead and fill the space using my little tesserae, the small pieces of paper. Ooh, a few of them fell off there. And that's that. The last thing I'm going to do is cover my entire face with glue and put little pieces on there too.